I'm Becca and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make these diamond beads just using some simple plunger cutters that you can get out of the fondant section of many places. If you look on AliExpress, eBay, Wish, they have them readily available there. These are in 4 different sizes, so that's the largest one, and then that's the next size down. Personally, I think they ought to be a size in between those two, but there isn't. And then these next two, there's only a very, very slight difference in them, but there is. You might not be able to tell very much on camera. It's only like a millimetre or something difference in these two, but you can see the drastic difference that there is in these. So I'm looking out for a plunger that'll do an in-between size for me, because I think it's a little bit too big of a gap for, say, if you're wanting to stack them up. So I've done them in different colours, and you can make yourself an absolutely massive bead stash, and there's very little work that you actually do. So let me show you how. Right, so to make our little diamond beads, I'm just going to use a skinny blend, or just a blend of colours. This is just so that you can get a good stash of variegated colours to use in whatever project that you're using. Now I thought to go for the primary colours, but instead of just doing it, you know, 3 as a section, I'm going to put some of the red over with the blue, so hopefully we'll get a nice purple shade as well as the other ones. So I'm going to overlap these here. I'm going to leave more of the yellow exposed, because obviously these two are going to blend to make hopefully an orange and a nice green, and then I'm going to take some of this red and pop it over here so that it'll make a nice purple. So just take off a smidgen like that. So we've got a bit of a space where we've got just our blue, and then we're going to have the red, green, orange, yellow, orange, red. So I might have to overlap them a little bit more, because I don't think that would fit through my pasta machine. I will just double check. Oh, just won't. Right, I shall readjust. So just play around and get them in whatever you know, mix that you want them to be. Let's go a bit that way. That way. So that should fit now. So I'm going to get this turned into a skinner blend. I'm just going to fold it onto itself and keep running it through the pasta machine. I have got a separate tutorial on how to make this. I'll link it in the description box. You don't need to see me how to make it again. It's one of the techniques I use in most of my videos. So I'll go and get this blended and I'll come back. Right, so I've blended those together, and as you can see, nearly all the yellow has gone. The red and the green have overpowered it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to condition a little bit more yellow clay and pop it on top, and then see if I can get some of the yellowness back to it. So fingers crossed that'll work. I've got to say at the beginning that I used 3 packets of, I think, the 25-gram pieces, I think the 1 ounce. I shall find the packet. Yeah, 25 grams, the 1 ounce blocks of clay. These were just out of the multi-packs that I've done the reviews on. So if you want to see those, I'll link those as well. So I'll go get my yellow and I'll come back once I've blended it again. Right, I'm back and I've added the yellow in, so we've just got a bit more of a yellow strip. I also added some more blue in, because the more I mixed it, I lost the blue as well. So I just laid a little bit in there. So as you can see now, I've got quite a lot of clay here. This is on my thickest setting of the pasta machine. Apologies for the beginning of the video, I forgot to turn my lights on. So if it's a bit too dark for you, I do apologise, but I remembered while I was mixing, so it's a bit dark in here. So I've got this. I'm not going to do the entire thing on here because I don't need that many of these particular beads. So I'm just going to cut a section off and show you the different ways that you can use them. So I'll straighten off down here. Just keep it to the side, and I can use it for other projects. Okay, so let's put that over there. Right, so now we've got our lovely little Skinner blend here. I'm going to make it a little bit thinner because the beads that I've got to the side to show you what different ones that you can do, I've done them on quite on the thickest setting, and they do look a little bit too thick for what I'm wanting to use them for, so I wanted to just show you the difference between the different levels. So that's just down one size. I'll go another one. So now this is down on a number 3 on my pasta machine. Okay, so we've got more clay. So with all the other that I've got left over, I'm sure I'll be able to make some other canes or some other types of beads. Now the cutters that you're wanting are these diamond cutters. Now there were 4 in the pack, and I don't know why, but I've just realised I've got 2 that are pretty much the same size. Whether if that's an accident or I've got an extra one, I've had these ages, so I can't remember. But there's 3 just sizes that I'm going to be working with today. I'm going to take the largest one to start with, and these are the different ways I've thought of so far of how to use these beads. So that's just a quick snippet of it. Now to start building your stash, if you just start cutting beads from just all the way across. Now I forgot to get my, there you go. I forgot to say it's easy using these little plungers if you have your blend on my scruffy paper, on a piece of paper. It just stops it sticking to it, like you just saw there, because I've got my craft mat that I've made on underneath, it's sticking to it. So when you take the bead out, it might have some of these fluffy bits around the edge. Just take your finger and smooth them out, and then that's all you need to do. Oh, that there. You still can't see it on there anyway, but I'll pop it to the side. So I'm going to cut a few of these out, and I'll come back. You don't need to watch me cutting them all out because that's my watching paint dry. I'll be back in a moment. Right, so I've just cut one out of each colour, and as I've been able to fit going across the strip, and I've just got these lovely diamonds cut out. So we've got 7 altogether there. So to do the types that I've done, I've got 5 different sorts at the side of me. So I'm going to decide what colour I want to do them in firstly. So which one shall we go? We'll go for the basic one first, and this is basically where you're just stacking the diamonds up just like this, if you can see them on the side. That's all you're doing. So what you need now is your 2 other sizes as well as your large bead. So I think we'll go for, you're rolling away from me, go for this nice orange one, so it's the second one along. Okay, so we'll cut out another one, third one along, not the second one, silly me. Cut another one out. Now I've done these in pairs of 2 because I'm imagining them as earrings. You don't have to do them as pairs of 2, this is just so I can show you a way of that you can actually use them. Okay, so then you want to take your next size down, which is this, and then decide what colour you want to put as the next layer up. Now on these ones I did a blue into a grey and then into a silver blend, and I've got them variegated, so this is where you get to play around and decide on, you know, what you want your beads to be. You can use the smaller ones just as beads anyway. I'm just showing you this one first, so I think we'll go, and we'll go back down the other way, so we'll go back down towards the red. So to do these ones, and then you're just popping it, sorry, I'm further off the camera than I thought I was. Okay, so there's my needle tool, and you're just popping these in the centre. Oh, I'm dropping it now. The clay has gone very, very soft. Because I'm in this house and it's rather warm. I've had the door open near for ages and now it's gone very warm. Oh, I'm going to squish that one. Let's punch another one out. Silly me. I think the heat's going to my head. Right, so another one of these. So this is the medium one. Because it's wet clay to wet clay, they'll stick really easily. Okay, and then you want your tiniest one, and just pick whatever colour you want for the last one. I'll lift them up in a second just so that you can see a little better. Don't know how well you can see me doing it at this angle, but I've got some stray silver clay. Don't know why, because I've cleaned my mat before I started filming, but it will find its way. Now they're not that much smaller than the medium ones. I'm not sure, I'm wondering whether if that other small one should have been a size in between this larger one and the next one down to what I've got, but it is what it is. I've had them that long, I can't really question the seller now. I should have checked it when I first got them. So lift up one of the earrings, well, beads, and as you can see, that's the one that's got the bits on, but you can pick those off, but it's got some dimension to it, so it really is just a really basic way of using this bead. If you've got any ruffles on the edges, just, you know, use your finger just to blend them so that they, oh, I've gone off camera then, sorry. Just pet the edges and then you'll get them how you want them to be, and obviously try not to get some spare clay going on TVs unless you like that, then leave it as that. So I'll pick this one up. So that's just one way of using the beads. I think I'm going to go on to using my sample ones that I did earlier, because the clay has sat for a lot longer and it's gone very squishy, these. I think it's with the heat, but basically going to be doing the same thing as I did with these ones, but I've already got all these ones cut out. So zoom out and you can see all the ones I got ready. So you can see I've had a busy time before I've actually got on camera doing all these ones. Now, like I said, I did it from a sort of a dark blue to a pale blue, then it went to grey, and then it went to silver. And these are the lovely beads that I got. So, and I've come up with these different ways of doing it, so I've shown you this one already. So, that one there. So the next basic one is these ones here. Okay, so I'll zoom us back in so you can see better. You can see my grotty tile. I'll move that out of the way, actually, it's a bit better under. Sorry, this is how I work, my brain's all over the place. Right, so I'll go with just a silver background now on these ones. Yep. There we go. So I've just picked just silver for these ones, because on the sample ones I've gone for a blue background with silver on top. So I'm going to go the opposite way around and I'm going to go for the blue on top. So just pick whichever ones you want, and I've got these already cut out because these ones are all going to use in bead embroidery, but I can use them for these. And then, see those ones? No, it's those ones you want, the really, really tiny ones. I think I've been playing with clay for too long today. So for each earring or each bead you want 4 of the same colour. Well, you could have different colours if you want, but if you're just doing it the way that I'm doing now, it's just 4 of the same. And then you just want to place it where the end of the point is. Make sure that it lines up on either side. As you can probably tell, this is the thicker setting that I mentioned. Now, the thicker setting is good for when you're wanting to use your needle tool to put some dimension into the beads as well. So I'm just putting those 2 on the side ones. Now the good thing with the diamonds is you can see whether if you've got them lined up properly, because I've got these good points that help. Okay, put that one there, so I'll get 4 more. Now if you're doing the rainbow ones, you could make all 4 points a different colour. That'd be very nice and colourful. Probably will do that once I've let the clay set a little bit and it's cooled down. So it's very, very soft, and it just didn't seem to want to do what I wanted it to do. Okay. Okay, so we've got our pieces there. Now, all we're going to do, excuse the motorbikes in the background. Okay, so you've got your bead, and just take your needle tool or a pin, whatever it is that you've got, and then you're just going to press down. So it's higher up on the outside, you know, on the actual point, and then you're pushing it down into the centre, and then you just want to do that on all 4 points. Okay. Now if you wanted to, you could put a rhinestone in the centre of these, which would look very nice. I might actually do that. I'll show you both ways, with and without. And doing this will just adhere the little diamonds to the back one a little better than without it. Like I say, because it's wet clay to white clay, should stick anyway. But so, right, let's go for these ones. Show me these ones. Let's go for a bigger one. Right, so we've got some got those lovely I'll zoom out and show you this. Rhinestones, they're so sparkly. My husband will be laughing at me now. Right, let's just move you out of the way. So these are ones that I've got that aren't in settings, you know, that have got the bits for you to sew through. But if you've got ones that for embroidery into things, and then you can just pop them out of the cases. So I think I'll go with just 2 of these silver ones. And I think these are 5mm rhinestones. Oh, can't see. So they're not my tiniest, but they're not the largest, but I think they'll be perfect just for this set of beads. Now this is just some Sculpey Bacon Bond. You can use this or any wet clay that you've got. So, and then I just use my paintbrush to get it out from the centre. Let's brush it in. This is because the rhinestones, obviously not clay, it's not going to cling to the clay, while the clay clings to itself. And I've just noticed that one's a little wonky, so we'll go a bit. There we go. Don't want too much because you don't want it to glue out, but you want it to make sure that it sticks where you want it. Okay. Now, where's my... Right, got my rhinestone grabber. Now, just pick those up and then pop them in the middle and then push it down. And then same again. And there we go. I'll do it for you now. And then you've got your rhinestone wedged in between those 4 pieces. You've got a lovely set of beads. So you could either keep them like this and use them on their own in bead embroidery, or you could turn them into a nice little pair of earrings. So that's the second one. Right, so which one it was. And then these ones is the just decorating them with canes. Yeah, if I'll lift them up on here, that'll be easy for you to see. So these two here, I've just taken canes that I've already made previously. I will do tutorials on how to do these at some point, but I just want to show you how to decorate these today. So I'm going for, I've already got silver backing, so I'm going to go over the blue ones for this now. There we go, sorry I didn't realise I weren't totally zoomed in. So I've got 2 nice blue ones this time, and the flower that I used is a spotted flower cane, so I'll use that one again because it's already reduced down to the size that I want it. Now it's up to you whether if you want something that's a total contrast and a different colour altogether, that's your choice. So I'm just going to define the petals on my cane. And just put my slice in the centre and do it again. Okay, so again I've got those in the centre, and then these ones I use the really teeny tiny rhinestones, these ones. Now I used the sort of a jade colour, I'd say, when I did the other ones. I'll use them once again because they're really nice. And I'll just put a blob of glue in the centre of the flower. Then try and make sure you've got these are mixed sizes, so if you can try and get them so that you've got 2 the same. So when I bought these I would have thought, oh, variegated size, but it didn't say of how many of each one that you got. So in hindsight, now when I order any I shall just order individual sizes. Right, so I've got these ones here now, so I'm just picking out with my picker-upper, I think. It's actually a diamond dart set. And just push it into the centre. Push it down again. And there you've got these with just a flower in the centre. And then this one, these ones, basically just using 2 different types of cane. So I use the same ones as I used before, because like I said, these ones are already reduced. If I could find them again. So this is my box of all my little odds and ends, and I use these for decorating beads and things like that. So, oh, where's it disappeared to? I'll go this one instead. So, just have to reduce this one down a little bit, because obviously, because there's really tiny beads, you don't want the leaves to be too large and take up too much of the space. Right, so I've got that reduced down now. I'm going to go with some of the dark greys, because I've not used any of those ones yet. And I'm just going to need a couple of these for each bead, so 4 slices all together. How thick they are, that's totally up to you. These are probably about the thickness of a penny. And then I use my needle tool, and then I'm going to take each of these leaves. So these are probably a little larger than I would have wanted to, but it's alright, they look okay. Try to use my tools and not just use what you're given. Just use your fingers. There we go. Okay, so you've got your leaves pressed in, or in place should I say, and then we're going to do what we did with the other one, and we're just going to press down, but we're going to go from the inside out, so the centre dips down. And that's just pushing it into the clay. There we go. And then just want to take, this is just a spiral or a jelly roll cane that I've made. I just want 1 slice of this for each of them. And just pop that in the middle. And then what I did was I used just a ball tool, and then I just pushed down in the centre just to give it a bit of dimension. And there you are. And then the last ones, basically just using 2 of the different sizes and some rhinestones, so pick which ones I'm going to have. So those are dark, I'll go with the lighter ones. I like to have a good variety when I'm making anything. Okay, so they're both lighter blue on the inside and darker on the outside. And then we'll go with just plain silver ones. So this is the medium size cutter. Just popping that in the centre. Okay, so they're just stacked up, and then I took some of the pencils that we used earlier. I'll these more variegated. I don't really know the name of the they're called AB rhinestones. Not sure. And then just the same again. So you can do lots of different things with your beads just by doing the same techniques I'm showing you now. You don't need much supplies or loads of clay or knowledge to be able to do these. It's just basically decorating them or using them themselves as the decorative piece in your work. I'm just popping it in the centre and just pushing it down, and that will create a rim around the edge of the rhinestone. Okay, and then if you just want to straighten, and I've lost my little card, but we'll go with these ones instead. So if it's just gone a little bit out of shape, you can just pop them back in like that. Now once you've done your beads, you need to decide on how you're going to skewer them and put them in your work. Now if I'm using all of these for earrings, I would just put a hole in the top and possibly a hole in the bottom for me to put any dangles in, or I could do them this way and use them on the shorter point depending on what you're doing with the earrings. But if you're using them in your bead embroidery, then you'll need to put more than one hole in for you to be able to sew them to your work. So say if you were, I shall use these ones. If you're making a sort of a flower or a snowflake sort of shape, so you'd need 5 of these. One more. That's a bit too dark, that one. So just imagine you're putting that onto your piece of embroidery, whatever it is that you're going to be doing it with. I would put a hole here and here, or you could put one in all 4 spots and then you could do some beading along the top, or just put one simply in the middle. It won't keep it as rigid as what it would do if you've got the other ones in, but that is totally up to you. And then you can always put some come up through the centre of this and put something in the middle as well. So I think I'll pierce these as that and I'll put them into a project. So I'm just using my needle tool. Now these are only pilot holes, but they might be alright for me to be able to get my needle through, because they are relatively thin beads compared to a lot of the other ones that you can make. So you don't want to make them too thin, and then if you're starting to drill holes in them and ending up cracking your bead. Okay, oop, they're stuck together. So those I would bake knowing that this is the formation of what I'm going to do them with. If you don't know what you're going to do with them, I would just leave your beads without holes in and then just drill them afterwards. But again, that is up to you. So I'm going to put them back on the tile. Oop, come on off. So besides just using them in the ways that I've shown you, you can just make a really big stash of all different colours of these beads. So these are the really tiny ones, and you can use those in your bead embroidery. You can put them in earrings and they'll jazz it up because there's no weight at all to them, or you can put them in necklaces and just have them as fringe and dangles. So that's all that they are. So I'll go off camera and I'll do all the ones from the blend that I showed you. I can't do them now, I'm going to have to let it sit for a bit so the oils leach out and it goes a bit more firm because it's gone really soft. So once I've done that, I'll come back. Right, so I just wanted to show you once you get your clay to this stage. I put it all back through on a number 1 because the ones that we're doing on the number 3, I think it was, I wasn't liking the size of them, so I thought I'll just go back to doing on the thicker section of past between. Now I want to show you, once you get to your skin when you've done this, don't think that this is all wasted. You can put this all back together and make more beads. So basically all you're wanting to do is just, well, you can't exactly roll it when you've done it the way that I've done it, but if you just put them into the sort of orientation as to where the colours would be. Obviously when you've got more of a space in between them, it gives you a bit better thing for folding it over, and then just squash it back into shape, and then all you need to do is just get all the air bubbles out like you do when you're reducing a cane. The colours will become closer together because there's less of it to spread it out. So this. So as you can see, it's a lot thinner than what I was using before, but you've still got plenty of clay to be working with here. And then you need your rolling pin, and I forgot to get it out. So once you've got your rolling pin, just give it a quick sort of flatten out, because it'll not go through the pasta machine that way. And then just pop it back through until you're happy with how it is. Now you can do this every time that you've got the clay to that stage, and each time the colours will become closer together and you may get more variation in your shades, because if you can see here now I'm getting more of a green. There's not as much blue in it. So don't think that you're stuck with just leftover clay. You can just fold it up and you'll get probably some new colours, or more or less the same as what you had before. So I'll go and finish up using up this clay and I'll be back. Right, I'm back and all my beads are baked and nice and hard. I've not glazed any of them yet because I don't know what I'm going to be using them on. But these really tiny ones, I don't think they really need the glaze. Unless you like the glaze, then you can do, but they're really tiny. I don't think you're going to be able to tell much difference, but I think the larger ones would look nice with some resin on top and make them really shiny, but again, that's up to you. I've put some pilot holes in for drilling, afterwards, for whenever I decide that I'm going to use them. Just put one at either end of those ones, and then the ones that I know I'm going to turn into earrings, drop in there now, I've put them in obviously the positions where they're going to be. I can get them out when I make the earrings. Right, okay, I just want to show you the difference. These ones I'm going to have them going, I'm going to have these ones so they're that way hanging. So I've put the holes on the shorter side, whereas on all the other ones I've done them top to bottom. I could do them that way, but I know that way is how I'm probably going to be wanting to make them into a pair of earrings. So that's those ones. So I hope this has inspired you to have a go at making some diamond beads, and or if you've got them and you've been stuck on what to do with them, they're really good for doing fringing on pieces of jewellery work and on brooches and things like that. You could even use them on card making as embellishments if you wanted to do that. There's so much that you can actually do with them. So I hope you've enjoyed it and you've got some inspiration. If you've enjoyed it, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be appreciated. And if you've not subscribed, if you consider subscribing, that would be greatly appreciated too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.